The reflex arc in narcissistic abuse, when the body learns to loop. In the aftermath of narcissistic abuse, many survivors report a distressing truth. The narcissist may be gone, but their effect is not. You're out of the relationship, but your body still acts like you're in it. You flinch at a raised voice. You panic at a neutral silence. You explain yourself to people who aren't asking. You feel like you're still getting it wrong even when no one is criticizing you. This is not confusion. This is not weakness. This is a neuro-symbolic reflex loop, and in MPIT, it forms part of the collapse structure surrounding the organizing gate. Understanding the reflex arc. Biologically, a reflex arc is a built-in protective system. You touch something hot, your nerves bypass conscious thought. You yank your hand away before your brain catches up. This pre-conscious circuitry is essential for survival. It prevents damage by overriding deliberation. But in relational trauma, especially narcissistic abuse, the same logic gets misapplied to meaning. Your body doesn't just flinch from heat, it starts flinching from tone, from withdrawal, from gaze, from false claim. It reacts to symbolic signals, not physical ones. And when those signals are part of a traumatized relational pattern, a new reflex forms, one that does not protect but preserves collapse. This reflex system loops through what MPIT identifies as ASR3, the anticipatory shadow reflex. The collapse from ASR2 to ASR3. In healthy relational development, the subject develops ASR2, the anticipatory stress reflex. ASR2 allows for boundary detection, symbolic discernment, reality testing, safe delay, and containment. It is the nervous system's moral filter, a protective scaffold through which the self evaluates experience without panic. But in narcissistic abuse, ASR2 is invalidated. The subject is punished for detecting danger, naming contradiction, expressing discomfort, asserting separateness. Over time, ASR2 collapses, and in its place, the body installs a reflexive circuit built not on truth, but on survival performance. This is the organizing gate, the moment the symbolic self is bypassed and the loop begins. Mapping the reflex arc to the organizing gate. If we look at a biological reflex arc first, stimulus, a hot surface, signal travels to the spinal cord. The reflex arc bypasses the conscious brain. Muscles withdraw without thinking. Pain is avoided. MPIT reflex arc under narcissistic abuse. The stimulus, cold gaze, withheld affect, false claim. Signal travels through collapsed ASR2 into ASR3. Reflex arc bypasses symbolic reasoning and self-authorship. The subject performs safety behaviors without authorship. Shame is preemptively regulated via false self. The moment this substitution occurs, when symbolic reasoning is replaced with involuntary safety performance, the subject has passed through the organizing gate. They are no longer reacting from their internal truth. They are reacting from a loop. It is not a personality, it is a safety loop. Let us be clear, what forms after narcissistic abuse is not a personality in the clinical sense. It is not an identity. It is not characterological. It is a looped survival reflex built on symbolic terror. It is ASR3, a collapsed mirror structure. It mimics instinct. It masquerades as intuition, but in its performance, filtered through the internalized voice of the abuser. The subject does not become someone else. They become a reflexive simulation of who they believe they must be to stay safe. This is what MPIT calls RMPI, reflexive mirrored psychic inversion. It is not chosen, it is not pathological in origin, it is a symbolic survival strategy initiated when the nervous system perceives annihilation. Reversing the reflex from reaction to authorship, survivors often wonder, why does one text throw me into collapse? Why do I still over explain years later? Why do I act like they're still watching? These are not symptoms and signs of failure. They are evidence that your loop is still active. But loops can be interrupted. Name the reflex. This is ASR, not instinct. This is my nervous system responding to the past, not the present. Anchor in the body. Breathe into the shame impulse. Delay your response. Feel the conflict without obeying the reflex. Reopen the organizing gate. Recall ASR2 still exists. You are not broken. The gate was collapsed, not destroyed. Every time you pause, reframe, or choose authorship, you reclaim ASR2. You are not a reflex. You are a symbolic being who adapted to survive. If you feel like you're still in it, that's because in nervous system terms, you are. Your body encoded the abuse as danger. Your reflexes learned to perform, and the self was temporarily overwritten. But that reflex is not you. It is not your personality. It is not permanent. MPIT offers this. The map of your inversion is also the map of your return. And the first reversal begins not with courage, but with naming the loop. You do not need to be anyone's simulation ever again, not even your own. You are the author now, and the gate, once closed, can be opened again, with care, with containment, with attunement, and with truth. Peace out. Loads of love.